Jamie, we were just seeing the match stats there. Did the better team go through out of Marseille and Spurs?
Spurs were a completely different team second half, and I think it proved what we said at half-time. Marseille are a good team, not a great team, and Spurs almost went into that game with fear and thinking, we've got to get our points. The fact they were 1-0 down took the shackles off, and then they took the game to Marseille, and they were the better team in the second half. But the huge chance that Marseille miss at the end with Kolasinac is going to be the one that everybody looks back at.
Well, by the way, thank you very much. If you were watching the Golasso show with Nico Cantor and Freddie Lundberg, fantastic to have you with us. Thanks for joining along. We're going to take you out to Marseille, where Guillaume Balaguer got to witness an incredibly topsy-turvy game pitch side. Guillaume, how exciting was that one to live real life up close and personal like you did?
Just think of this, right? In the last minute, a goal of Marseille took Spurs out of the Champions League. In the last minute, a goal of Spurs takes Marseille completely out of Europe. So there is a little bit of frustration right now, because for a while Marseille thought that at least they were making it into Europa League. And to be honest, they played well for most of the game. But I think we will look at what happened. And of course, with Kolasinac's header, they could have actually gone ahead. But Højbjerg already had hit the woodwork. It seemed now, with hindsight, that Spurs did what they had to do to win. In the first half, make sure that nothing happened, no much, but they conceded a goal. In the second half, they stepped up, and fireworks are coming up now. And then they got the goal that got them the guarantee of going to Europe. So the second goal came at the end, of course, when Marseille were attacking. And yes, I heard Jamie talking about that. I think Spurs played the game better, managed it better.
You nervous about leaving the stadium tonight?
No, because I'm not leaving for 3 hours.
Guillaume, we'll let you go and see who you can find to speak to and get some reaction for us. And we'll be back with you very shortly. Let's take a look at that Kolasinac header, because we keep talking about it, right? Micah, frustrated you?
Despair. I mean, you think he's just got to get the goal on. That was the goal that could have took him to the next round, but it wasn't meant to be. Despair, Kate.
Yes, group winners, Eintracht Frankfurt, huge celebrations to them. They turned around a 1-0 deficit against Sporting in Portugal. Just incredible scenes there at the final whistle. As
Got his head over the ball into the far corner. Brilliant finish.
Desire.
Yes.
To go to Portugal needing a result and to go 1-0 down and turn it around is impressive, isn't it, Thierry?
Yes, it was impressive. But again, they won the Europa League last year and they got Colomwani coming this year. Kamada ran the show, as you said. It's just... Look, we said Marseille and Sporting will go through. This is how tough it was in that group. We didn't even know where it was going to go. But the result was just crazy. You know, Sporting went to win there. They actually beat. You know, it changed so many times over the night. The header of Kolasinac. But at the end of the day, this is the end, and they are going through. With Tottenham and Colomwani scored some important goals in that group.
And what that means now is that we know 14 of the 16 teams who are qualified for the last 16 of the Champions League. So that means just 2 spots still yet to be decided in tomorrow's final day of play. Match day 6, Wednesday, the day that will complete this round of 16. 4 teams playing for the 2 spots. They are Shakhtar or Leipzig will get one, and Milan or Salzburg will get the other through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Well, jubilation for Frankfurt tonight. Relief in the white half of North London as Spurs get the result that they need to advance. Do not go anywhere. We're going to have all the fireworks and the fanfare from this dramatic decision day. Plus, we're going to look ahead to all of tomorrow's permutations as well. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Good to have you with us. It is good to be here too. Kate Abdo, Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher, Micah Richards. Full time on this Tuesday in the Champions League group stages. Final day of group stage for a number of teams in action today. 8 of them to be precise. It was a dramatic day, particularly in Group D. It was a dramatic day, particularly in Marseille. We're going to take you through some of the best of the action from that game between Marseille and Spurs. Marseille going 1-0 up first off.
Mbemba. What a header this was. I mean... We think Spurs are not going to get back into the game. We think Marseille have got too much for Spurs.
Did you get that from Ray Hudson?
No, this is what I mean.
Spurs equalised 1-1. Clement Lenglet.
Oof. And looks a little bit high when in reality it's not. There's a reason why you push the line high is because you don't want to concede goals like that. You play that deep, a goal of a head just that close to your goal, it's very difficult for
So
the goalkeeper.
did you always like going a little bit forward, running back? Because I always preferred a little bit deeper so I could run forward.
But what I'm saying is, if you lose the header when you're higher, he's headering it further away from goal, so it gives your goalkeeper more time to react. When it's that close to the goal, the goalkeeper can't react.
And also you give space to the keeper to go and clear it, because if not, he's in traffic.
Yeah.
Like that coaching clinic there?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Thanks very much. I was wondering
Brilliant.
how Micah...
There's a game of opinions.
Yeah. Wait, can we run back the header when he jumped? How would you describe this one?
Which, the long lay one?
The long lay, yeah. Let's give that...
Okay, you know what I mean? Just there.
There was a bunch of chances, weren't there, for both sides, actually. Let's take a look at some of those, Thierry.
Yeah, the one...
chances kept coming as well. Great Perisic block here. Take a look at this one.
This was the best. We normally see that type of situation in the knockout stage. It goes to the final day in the group stage, and it felt like you were watching, a game from the last 16 or a quarter-final.
The Kolasinac.
Oh, wow.
Kolasinac. I just stretched the word out. Kolasinac miss. Let's take a look at that one again, because, this is just...
And the manager, absolutely.
The ball of Under was on the money.
Yeah, great ball.
Let's take a look at the winner then. 2-1, the final score. Højbjerg with the winning goal here. Here you go.
Højbjerg.
That is absolutely massive, that goal. Not just in terms of that group, what it does for Liverpool as well, in terms of who they can play in the next round. But more importantly, Tottenham. The level of opponent now they're going to come up against compared to what they would have done finishing second is going to be completely different. So a huge goal for them, not just in terms of getting through, but how far they can progress in the competition.
Clint Dempsey is sitting at home enjoying himself because all of you were hating on him too. Said that his pick would never go thugh, and there you go, Spurs.
It was his pick. Oh, okay.
Spurs, he said, dark horse. Let's take you over to the other game from that group, Sporting against Frankfurt. So this one also Group D. This one as well went back and forth. Let's run through the goals in this one. 1-0 for Sporting, first of all, they went up.
Yeah, it was a goal nonetheless. Okay.
So let's take a look at the equaliser for Frankfurt then. This came from a penalty. So let's first of all take a look at the incident. Yeah.
Kamada was magnificent and controlling the game.
Then winner for Frankfurt. 2-1 final score.
Yeah, a massive goal. And
they'll be celebrating. Oh, OK, tell you what. Here we go. Tottenham Hotspur finishing top of the group.
What's the Q for?
Q.
Q for qualified.
You got it.
Very funny. So Spurs and Frankfurt, the two that go through from that Group D, which is just incredibly down to the wire on this final day of play. Sporting will have to be satisfied with Thursday night football in Europa League, and Marseille, unfortunately, a crushing end to their game against Spurs at home in front of their home fans, and they have to now face the fact that there is no more European football for them this season. Coming up next, we're going to discuss, we're going to switch over to Group A. Liverpool doing a job against Napoli this evening, becoming the first team to beat Napoli in over 6 months. We'll show you the action from that Group A next. Very warm welcome along. So I promised you that we would talk about Group A just to set the picture for you in this one. Napoli had a 100% record coming into this day's play. Liverpool did still have the opportunity, the potential to top the group, but they would need to win by 4 goals or more against Napoli to do that, playing at Anfield. And they could actually have gone 1 goal down early on, Micah.
Yeah, it was disallowed.
VAR at its best.
So now you like VAR?
I love it.
So let's look at the goal that Liverpool did get then. The first goal that Liverpool get through Mo Salah.
1 goals in Europe for Liverpool, which is now level with Steven Gerrard.
Wow.
Impressive, well done.
They get a second goal as well. Darwin Núñez with that second goal, definitely with the second goal.
This guy is getting goals, and I think it's very good for Liverpool that, for a striker, it's very important if he can get goals.
It's really interesting watching Núñez. He comes on, he makes a huge impact, and he hasn't set the world alight. He's not done what Haaland's done, and people are expecting more for the price tag. But when you actually look at the minutes he's been on the pitch and how many goals he's scored per minute, his numbers are actually scary. He's probably come on there for 20 minutes and he's got his goal. So he's actually made a huge impact. But there's still something not quite there where, Jurgen Klopp's going to play him every single game. He's still searching for a sort of a system and how to fit him in. He's very, very raw. But I think there's something, I wouldn't say special is probably a bit much, but there's something about him that you think you can't take your eyes off him when you're watching him play. And I think Liverpool have got a real player. I obviously want to ask you, Thierry, what's your feeling on him when you see him? He looks very raw to me, but the actual physical attributes of pace and power feels to me he's going to be a right handful in the future.
I think in its confidence, and the confidence that I'm talking about is when you are at a club and you feel like you're going to play week in, week out, you're a bit more cold in front of the goal. Because he wants to please so much and do so much and wow, he wants to wow the Liverpool fans. Sometimes he rushes it. You know, he gets the ball, he rushes it instead of controlling the ball, going back on his right foot or finish it clean. You know, he kind of rushes it. And I think I went through that. You know, when you arrive, big signing, you're coming after Sadio Mane, and that's not easy to do. And you just overdo it at times instead of being calm and cool and finish.
Do you think he'll ever be... I mean, I've only seen him in, obviously, a little bit for Benfica last season and in Liverpool shirt this season. Do you think he'll ever be clinical? He seems to be the type of player who's probably not clinical, but he has so many efforts and strike at goal that... Sooner or later he's going to get a goal. Yeah, he's more the type of guy that when he will get one, things will come. Is he a finisher like Robbie Fowler? I don't think he's a finisher like Robbie Fowler. Not a lot of people were a finisher like Robbie Fowler, in all fairness. But he has goals in him. He's a bit more of a handful, so sometimes he will rush stuff. A bit like Alexis Sanchez or young Luis Suarez, when you felt like things were bouncing off him and stuff like that. But when you start to master what you're good at, then you can control it better. And when that will happen to him, I think he can be a handful. You mentioned Robbie Fowler. I think there's something about a player I played with who scored a lot more goals, certainly in his first season. We'll see what Nunes does. Was Fernando Torres, where he's got that power, you know, physically to knock defenders back, and that blistering pace. But at times, maybe technically, not the best in terms of general play, build up. At times you give the ball to Fernando and he could lose it and be a little bit awkward. And I think he looks like that right now. He just reminds me of him.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. But you guys also was playing a style of play that was perfect for Torres. You know, a bit low, and he was always facing the game. I think that will suit a tiny bit better also Nunes. But that Liverpool side is a bit different because team weight, you're playing in the last third of the team is a bit different. You need to adapt to that also. That's new. That's not easy also.
OK, so let's skip on to the other game in this same group to kind of figure out how everything rounded off. So Ajax beat Rangers 3-1, which unfortunately confirms Rangers as the worst Champions League team we have ever seen in terms of their performance in group stage play.
She says that with a
That's
smirk
a bit
on her
harsh.
face.
No, I didn't.
I hope we've got no Scottish viewers over in America.
My dad's a Scot. He's watching.
Oh, man.
Who's this to support?
It's turquoise. I thought
Is he Celtic or Rangers?
He's neither. He's United, isn't he?
Oh.
He moved
Dundee United.
No, he moved from Scotland to Manchester. So let's take a look at Ajax's goals in this one. Here we go, 1-0 from Berghuis.
But Ajax looked extremely good tonight.
So 3-1 the final score in that one. Let's check in on how Group A rounded out then come final day of play. Napoli and Liverpool both tied on 15 points, but Napoli ahead on the tiebreaker. Ajax then go into Europa League action and Rangers finished with 0 points and a -20 goal difference. That one a little painful for them to digest, I'm sure. We're going to go to a very quick break. We will be right back with more Champions League action for you. We'll continue to take a look at all of the groups and figure out who is in and who is out. We'll be back. Welcome back one more time. So Eintracht Frankfurt, one of the teams that have gone through to the round of 16 this evening. Let's listen in to Kevin Trapp, their goalkeeper, on his thoughts on their passage through to the last 16.
Kevin Trapp, herzliche Gratulation.
This is Kevin Trapp. Congratulations on making the last 16 of the Champions League. You've achieved something historic. How do you feel about that?
Unfassbar.
Says it's incredible.
Schwierig gerade das Ganze zu beschreiben.
It's difficult to describe that right now.
Springen wir von einem Event zum anderen, zum einen großen Erfolg zum anderen.
We're going from one big success to another as a team. In May we managed to win the Europa League.
Als erste Mannschaft, die das erste Mal in der Champions League dabei ist.
And now, as the first team who's in the Champions League for the very first time, we've managed to go through to the round of 16. We're having a whole lot of fun with the way that we're playing football. Even after the 1-0 today, we don't let ourselves go crazy. We trust in our strengths. and we show that we're able to turn the game around. And now to have achieved something historic once again. It's incredibly, it's just a great feeling. And to do that with our fans behind us, and to be one of the best 16 teams in Europe, that sounds really good. Says completely honestly, did you really believe the whole time that you would find a way back? In the second half, was it about desire? Was it about the passion? He said it was definitely... It was what we wanted to do. We were too harmless, too inconsequential in the first half. But despite that, we knew that we were in a position we would be able to turn the game around with one goal. That was all we needed to be able to be back in the game. And so we turned it up in the second half, and we showed what we've proven in the last weeks, that we're able, against top teams in Europe, to prove who we are. Then we're a team who has top quality as well.
Wow, okay, that was impressive. What was the hardest to understand about the interview?
No, actually, that was all very clear. That was all right, that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I got a stat a little bit muddled up at the...
Well, you should have kept your trap shut then, couldn't you?
Let's take... Great joke. Let's take a look at Group B. So what have we got? Sorry, which one are we looking at in Group B, first of all? Porto, Atletico. Let's start there. Atletico out of the Champions League.
Atletico out.
Leverkusen Bruges was the other game in that group. 0-0 was the final score in that one. So Bruges, we already knew that they were through, but they go through in second place behind Porto. We're not going to show you. Well, there's no goals to show you, so we're not going to show you anything from that game. But how about this, though, from Leverkusen manager, from Xabi Alonso? Wonderful little touch. Take a look at this. Hey.
Can't you do me dirty right now? That's so 2 years ago, that is.
Big names, big games.
Roberto was horrified. Let's take a look then, Group B table, just to confirm how that all finished up for you. As I said, Porto top place, Bruges in second, just 1 point behind. Leverkusen secure Europa League football, and Atletico Madrid crash out of Europe entirely. Just one Spanish team going through to the last 16 of the Champions League. Let's skip on to Group C, and a team that has a 100% record. In fact, the only team that has a 100% record in this season's Champions League group stages. That is Bayern Munich.
3 years in a row, right?
I know.
Yeah, and he was just
not giving him respect.
Not me. I said I need to put some more respect on his name.
You said Stoke was the most intimidating place you've ever been in your life.
Oh, Jamie, it was tough, but he wasn't playing then. So, but yeah, we do. We need to give some respect.
The other game in this group was Victoria Pilsen at home against Barcelona. Barcelona already out of the Champions League, so Victoria Pilsen with a big opportunity. And what a game this one was. 6 goals to get through. Let's start making our way through.
Guys, you're the same. Playing a World Cup is very important, and the World Cup is around the corner. I hope the little man is going to be okay. I hope Son is going to be okay. Because it is important, and this is what I'm talking about, having that World Cup around in all those games. It's difficult for those guys to recover and be able to be part of the World Cup, so hopefully they will be okay for their countries.
This is something that we were talking about in the green room in the production meeting, the timing of the World Cup and the problem that creates in terms of...
Are we getting in this tomorrow, or are we doing it now?
No, I was just told that it was an interesting conversation. We could stick with this conversation. Is that right?
Okay, fair enough, yeah. I think it's an absolute disgrace that the World Cup is in the position that it's in, for lots of reasons. I think it was corrupt that Qatar were given the World Cup. And we knew that at the time. They campaigned on having it in the summer. It was impossible to have a World Cup in the summer with the temperature. It gets moved to the situation where it is now in the middle of the season. And players who spend their whole lives dreaming about playing in a World Cup and now could be, as we've seen with Son, Thierry's just mentioned, Gavi, players all around Europe, the world, could get injured in the next couple of weeks. Varane was crying coming off the pitch at Stamford Bridge. That's how close we are to a World Cup. So an injury, a 10-day or a 2-week injury, is going to keep players out of a World Cup, which should not be happening. And it all starts with FIFA giving them that World Cup in the first place, and then they're moving it. And obviously the stuff that goes on in their country is a completely different issue as well. But I think it's absolutely disgusting.
What Jamie is saying is very important, because normally, a 2 weeks injury should allow you normally at the end of the season, if you miss the last 2 weeks of the season. You have 20 days to prepare the World Cup. But this time, on the last game of the 13th, it is. I mean, in France, it's on the 13th. I don't know what it is in England, but then suddenly the World Cup starts. It doesn't give you any chance for you to recover if you get injured. So
and
it's a bit.
There's no build-up.
There is no build-up.
That 2 or 3 weeks was almost getting everybody ready for the World. It feels like everyone's concentrating on the Champions League or the league, and like, oh, the World Cup. And as soon as it's finished, we'll go back to, playing league games and Champions League again.
You're right that it's a really interesting conversation. It is one we're going to have in more detail tomorrow as we look ahead to the World Cup.
More detail? I've got nothing else to say.
well, maybe it's a good job, because I don't know if you saw I would love it if we had cameras on Micah's face when you started off saying what you were saying, because you know the Homer Simpson gif when he goes back into the head? That's exactly what you look like when he disappears in the head.
Yeah, that's the meme.
Group C table, let's just recap what that does look like, because I haven't shown you that since we've talked about those games. So Bayern Munich, perfect record. Like Thierry said, 3 seasons straight, the only team to ever do that. Just incredible, the consistency that they show at this level. 18 points, 8-point advantage over Inter Milan in second. Barcelona get Europa League football pills and are out.
I think I've got a theory why Micah was looking like that.
What was that?
He's working the World Cup, aren't you? You're not going to say.
Jamie, don't do that to me.
Show me the Yankee dollar.
Wait, she's working it too.
Hey! And he's working it.
Hypocrites. I have to go.
Yeah.
It's a different
We're
story.
Come back.
They don't.
In just a second, we will be right back. We're going to give you more reaction from today, and we'll also look ahead to what we've got coming up tomorrow for you. Stay with us.
It's Kane again. Oh, they might find a goal to put the game on ice now. Højbjerg into the areas. Højbjerg! Oh, what a finish! He gets his goal, and Spurs to win the group. Astonishing scenes here from the Danish international, who sweeps in like Tarzan on the vein to catapult this one home. Olympic Marseille stretched out like spandex on Miami Beach here. No response. Doesn't need to look where the goalposts are. He knows they ain't moving. And it's a wonderful thunderbolt of a hit to put this one out of touch. With a moment of flash of pure inspiration for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Stretched
What a
like
guy.
spandex on Miami Beach.
I know where I'm going in the summer.
Oh, not Qatar.
That's for sure. You're not working.
I tell you what, one of the things that has gone out on our social today is something that we didn't get to see when we were all in Brooklyn, but you two got to do, which was finally figure out what is a bodega in New York.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a sneak preview of what's gone out on the social. If you want to see the full version, take a look at CBS Sports Golazo.
Brilliant.
With Miro.
It was great, wasn't it, Jamie?
Yeah, the main man himself took us inside the bodega.
What was it called?
Bacon, egg and cheese,
Bacon,
man.
egg, and cheese.
Bacon, eggs and cheese, ketchup.
No. Bacon, egg, cheese, salt, pepper, chicken.
Bacon, egg and cheese, salt and pepper chicken.
No, yeah.
Salt, pepper, ketchup, man. What are you on about?
We needed this. Bit of a hangover the night before, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, but it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was worth it.
So we know what the bodega is. It's not an ice cream.
You thought a bodega was an ice cream?
Yeah.
I said that in the quiz, didn't I?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What kind of ice cream did you think it was?
Vanilla, but a bit of chocolate on top. No, but we got shown round, and it's a staple of New York, isn't it? There's one on every corner.
Did you feel like celebrities?
Oh, yeah.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah, well, yeah.
We were in New York. Everyone knew us.
Did they?
The locals were showing us round. I got on
Did
some
they just
fella's
see
bike.
2 men with a camera and want to be involved?
Yeah, they all do. But yeah, I had to go on the bike.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, yeah. It was really good.
Switching, take a look at it on our socials. Just before we go, we've got just under a minute left. But Shakhtar, big night tomorrow. Thierry.
Yes, it is. It is a big night. It will be a big night. Peter's going to be there, going back to the country of his origins.
In Warsaw, where the game is being played, right? Yeah. So, no, I know. I just hadn't mentioned where we're.
Yeah, well, it's good to say it again. I think everyone's gonna root for them tomorrow. Everyone is doing that since the beginning of the competition, and I just think that it will be great if they can go through.
Well, we are looking forward to that one. We're hoping for a night that's equally as entertaining as tonight. It was a good night, wasn't it?
It was very good. I like being in the studio.
Tonight.
You know what I mean? I like being in my chair.
So you don't want to go back to America?
Organising.
You don't want to go back to New York?
We'll try LA next time. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's go LA. Let's take it to LA.
Ooh, okay, I'm down.
Let's go to your house.
Yeah.
No, not like that.
Yeah.
Not Richard Keys on again, do we?
Who?
Oh, God. Everybody, well, let's end on that note, shall we? We've got a big night of action tomorrow night.
That was supposed to stay in the green room.
Come back. We'll see you tomorrow. Come back.